Sean, son, I sent an invitation to the family of Mr. O'Connor yesterday. We're having a get-together on Saturday, 4 days from now. I want you to meet his only daughter. Your wedding is coming up, yet you two haven't even spoken in person. I don't think she knows you either. It's better if you get to know each other before your wedding next month, said Mr. Smith, Sean's grandfather. Yes, Grandpa. I'd be happy to do what you wish. I already know a bit about Mr. O'Connor's only daughter. I hired a private investigator to learn who she is. I won't let us get married without knowing her. Expect that we'll go out in the next few days, Sean answered seriously as he watched the fish dart for the pellets the old man tossed. At his age, Mr. Smith's favorite pastime was sitting in the gazebo and feeding his goldfish in the pond below. He enjoyed how the fish splashed every time he threw in food. He said it felt good. Your parents would be proud of you wherever they are, grandson. You're kind and responsible. Even if you were born out of wedlock, you still carry our family name. You had every right to refuse the agreement I made with my friend O'Connor, but you didn't. Instead, you're standing by it without hesitation. Thank you, son. You don't have to thank me, Grandpa. Even if Mr. Sam O'Connor is gone, the agreement between you two still stands, and I don't want it broken. I'm the only one of your grandsons who isn't married, and marrying Mr. O'Connor's granddaughter won't make me any less of a man. Besides, I don't even have a girlfriend, Grandpa, and my record with women is clean. I'm loyal, Sean said. You're a good kid. By the way, what kind of woman is Mr. O'Connor's daughter? I haven't met her, and I'd be happy to hear what you've found out. Sean quietly sighed before speaking. She's a decent woman, Grandpa. Beautiful, modest, well-mannered, kind, and smart. That's not surprising because she comes from the O'Connor family. They're one of the respected families in the United States, and those traits come naturally to her. Mr. Smith laughed happily, but everything Sean said ran against what the investigator had uncovered. According to the report, Mr. O'Connor's daughter was a spoiled brat who loved parties, a wild child who often got into bar fights. She'd even spent a night in jail over a brawl. Maybe that's why the O'Connors hid so much about her. If not for the arranged marriage, he wouldn't waste time trying to know her. You're a good match, son. I can't wait to see your happy family. Hurry up and give me great-grandchildren. All right, I want energy left to play with them. Yes, Grandpa. That night, Sean headed to his friend Lewis's bar. He drank there until he noticed a familiar figure enter, the only daughter of Mr. O'Connor. She was a regular at that bar, and Louis already knew her. You like her, huh? Want me to introduce you? I heard she's been single for 2 years, and you're single too. You'd make a good pair, Louis teased with a grin. I'm not interested in her, Louis. I'm getting married. You know that. It won't look good if I approach other women. Sean refused, sipping his beer. You're only getting married, bro. You're not married yet. You can still play around. Just be loyal once you've tied the knot, Louis insisted, but Sean firmly shut it down. Louis had no idea the woman he wanted to introduce to Sean was the same woman Sean was supposed to marry. Sean didn't say a word because Louis would only laugh at him. Louis knew Sean's taste in women, and Heather was the total opposite. I won't stay long. I'm leaving before midnight. I don't want a hangover for my business meeting tomorrow morning, Sean added. All right. Enjoy the night, bro. I'm heading out. My girlfriend's waiting at the office. Order whatever you want, Louis said as he left. Left alone, Sean couldn't take his eyes off Heather. From the way she ordered a drink to how she danced on the floor, he watched. He couldn't picture the married life waiting for them. She seemed like the type who wouldn't be stopped from doing what she wanted. She'd be a headache, and all he could do was brace himself and lengthen his patience. As the night deepened, the customers grew rowdier under the influence of alcohol. Some danced sensually with bodies pressed close, others made out in their seats. Sean downed the last of his drink and stood. Then a woman caught his attention. She had just walked into the bar and obviously wasn't used to a place like this. He sat back down and observed. She wore a simple grey blouse and a long skirt. Her long hair was tied back, and she looked around as if searching for someone. He even chuckled when she made the sign of the cross at the sight of a couple making out at a table. She sidestepped people walking by as if afraid or disgusted. A scared kitten stranded in the middle of a wild jungle, he thought with a smile. Sean stood and approached her. He pretended not to notice her, standing nearby as if ordering a drink. "What is this place? Why did she come here? Everyone's so shameless. Do their parents know what they're doing?" Even with the loud music, Sean heard what the woman muttered. "Hi, miss," a drunk man waved at her. Sean recognized him. He'd once had to beat the guy down when he went berserk in the bar. The drunk probably knew Sean too, but was too wasted to place him. "Hey, beautiful!" The man zigzagged toward her. The woman grabbed Sean's leather jacket and hid behind him, trembling. Sean looked back and saw fear on her face as she stared at the approaching man. "What's going on? Miss, why did you hide behind me?" "Is something wrong?" Sean asked in a calm, low tone. "Help me, mister. There's a shadow of darkness coming toward me," she said, voice shaking, her English awkward but earnest. Sean suppressed a smile at her poetic way of describing a drunk. "Sure, I'm glad to help. Stand closer behind me, okay?" She didn't hesitate and moved beside him. He drew her in with an arm and leveled a serious look at the drunk. "You need something from my girlfriend, man?" The drunk narrowed his eyes, trying to recognize him. "Sean Smith," he muttered, not fully sure. "You need something from me or my girlfriend?" Sean repeated, not letting go of the woman. "Sorry, I thought she was alone," the drunk mumbled, hurrying off to bother someone else. "He's gone." "You're safe now, miss." Sean released her. She lifted her gaze. "Thank you, sir." She stopped, lips parting slightly. Sean saw wonder on her face, but his eyes fixed on her mouth, thin and pink, as if inviting a kiss. He restrained himself before he could do something foolish. "Miss, it's obvious you're not used to a place like this. Why are you here? Did you come to drink? Did you just break up with your boyfriend?" "I didn't come to drink." "I don't have a boyfriend." A smile flickered on Sean's lips. Then he reined himself in. He was getting married, and he wasn't the kind of man who cheated. He was simply drawn to the innocence of this woman and wanted to talk to her. Something told him she wouldn't lie. "I was told to come get my sister. Sorry, I mean my ma'am. I'm here to pick up my ma'am. It's late and she called that she's too drunk to drive. I'm worried she'll get hurt on the road. I was delayed finding a ride. She's probably mad at me. I didn't know this was the kind of place she'd gone to," the woman said. Sean was struck by her honesty. He'd met many women, most of whom hid their status in life. But this one didn't mind telling him she was a housekeeper. She was honest and innocent, qualities he liked in a woman. Too bad she wasn't the woman he was supposed to marry. "You impressed me, miss. People like you, dedicated to your work, are rare. Don't you have plans to resign? Maybe you'd like to work for me. I need someone like you at my place. Even if you don't work much, I'll still pay you. My offer's better. You won't have to struggle," he said, with an unthinking smile. Maybe the alcohol had finally taken effect. Ideas tumbled out, and he regretted it when she edged back, uncomfortable. "Sorry, sir. I'm not looking for a new job." "Sorry if I offended you, miss. I just admire your dedication and hard work. I didn't mean anything else. By the way, who are you looking for? Maybe I can help." "No need. I can see my ma'am now." "She's right there," she said, pointing. Sean didn't take his eyes off her. "Thank you for what you did earlier. Goodbye, mister," she said before leaving. "Wait, miss, what's your name?" he called, but she didn't answer. She vanished into the crowd, and he didn't know if he'd see her again before his wedding. The next day, Lainey woke up at noon. She usually rose at 3:30 in the morning, but she'd fallen asleep at 4 after retrieving and taking care of her drunk stepsister. Still sleepy, she took a rag and a bucket from the storage room to scrub the floors of her wealthy stepmother's big house. It seemed intentional that her stepmother made her life harder, refusing to buy a mop and other cleaning tools. After 2 hours, she was still scrubbing when she heard the voice of her 49-year-old stepmother. "Lainey, where's breakfast? Why isn't it on the table?" Sonia snapped. Lainey stopped cleaning and hurried to the angry woman. "I'm sorry, Miss Sonia. I haven't cooked yet. I started cleaning like you told me yesterday, so there wouldn't be dust when you woke up. So it's my fault you're slow. If you woke earlier, you'd finish your chores earlier." "I did wake early, ma'am. I've been working since 4, even though I barely slept, and I had to get Ms. Heather last night. She was very drunk." Sonia didn't like Lainey's explanation. "Talking back, huh? Come here." She yanked Lainey by the hair toward the bucket and tried to dunk her face into the dirty water. "Ow, Ms. Sonia, you're hurting me," Lainey cried, eyes brimming. "You should hurt. This is all you're asked to do, and you still can't do it right. People like you should be made to drink this water," Sonia snarled, forcing Lainey's face down. Desperate, Lainey toppled the bucket. The dirty water spread across the floor. "You wretch! Clean that up and cook." Sonia slapped her and let go. As Sonia turned away, her foot landed on the wet rag. She slipped and crashed onto the dirty floor. "My back!" she groaned. "Miss Sonia, what happened? Are you okay?" Lainey tried to help her up. "Get off me, Lainey." "You're bad luck." Sonia shoved her. They both fell, Lainey on a dry patch, Sonia back into the dirty water. "What are you two doing lying on the floor?" asked Simon, Lainey's father, who had just arrived. "Sonia, when did you start wallowing in dirty water? Don't you want a shower?" he added, baffled. "Idiot! Help me up now," Sonia snapped. Simon meekly helped his wife and ignored Lainey. That wasn't new. He did whatever Sonia wanted. Sonia had taken Lainey in only to make her a maid. Sonia was wealthy, and technically, Simon and Lainey were just boarders in her house. Even so, Sonia was stingy about hiring help. She'd rather work Lainey to the bone, and Simon allowed it. "Lainey, prepare breakfast. Finish cleaning later," Simon ordered. "You heard your father, Lainey." "Hurry up, we're hungry," Sonia added. "Yes, ma'am." Lainey left the wet floor to start breakfast, but Sonia yelled again. "Where's your brain? You're leaving the floor like that. Fix it first." Lainey closed her eyes and breathed deep. She no longer knew what to do first. Wordlessly, she returned to cleaning. The metal bucket slipped and crashed with a clang. "I'm sorry, I dropped it," Lainey said, picking it up. "Look at your daughter, Simon. She's growing horns. Has she forgotten who puts food in her mouth?" Sonia sneered. "Let it go, Sonia," Simon said, guiding her away. Lainey still heard Sonia's whisper. "If I didn't love my daughter, I wouldn't give up this maid. She's a big help here, but it's a bigger loss if we back out of your father's agreement with old Mr. Smith. I don't want my Heather marrying the penniless bastard of the Smiths. No money on that bastard. We'll use Lainey as the substitute bride." Lainey's hands went slack. "They're going to marry me off to an investor," she thought numbly. She hadn't finished school, but she secretly read books in the big house's library while cleaning. She knew what an investor was. Rich business people who put money into a company to make more. Often older, with big bellies and thinning hair. "Dad, please don't let them marry me off to your investor. I love you. You're all I've had since Mum died. I'm fine working hard here as long as I'm with you. But don't marry me to some old man with a big belly and a bald head. Why are you doing this to me, Dad? I'm your daughter," she pleaded. Lainey hoped her father would refuse to make her a substitute bride for Heather. Instead, he announced her engagement over breakfast. She was listless all day, planning how to run away. She couldn't take it anymore. She'd always hoped her father would choose her just once. She was wrong. He didn't love her the way she loved him. He loved Sonia more. After 3 days of planning, Lainey slipped out at night. Heart pounding, she eased open the front door and ran toward the gate with a bag. She froze when Heather's car pulled in. She'd forgotten Heather always came home after midnight from the bar. Heather stepped out, eyed the bag, and smirked. "Running away? You can't leave. If you do, I'll be forced to marry that poor guy. A poor bastard is beneath my beauty and status. Get back inside before I call Mom." "Heather, we're still sisters." "Please don't do this. I don't want to marry Dad's investor," Lainey begged through tears. "Stepsister only, Lainey. I'm Dad's only legal child. I'm the only one who uses his last name. Remember, we're not connected. Your mother was a paid woman. In this house, you're the maid. Got it?" Heather pulled out her phone and dialed. "Mum, Lainey's trying to run." "She's in the garden," she said loudly. Lights flicked on, room by room. Sonia rushed out, face twisted with rage, not noticing a jutting stone in the garden. She tripped and went sprawling, rolling on the uneven ground. Lainey almost laughed but held it back. Heaven always seemed to side with her when she was mistreated. "Mum!" Heather shouted, but didn't move. Lainey ran to Sonia instead of the gate. "Ms. Sonia, are you okay?" Lainey asked, helping her up. Wincing, Sonia hadn't recovered from the fall before she clamped a bruising grip on Lainey's arm. "You ungrateful girl! Get back in the house. You're not setting foot outside until your wedding day," she hissed. The next day, she hired people to watch Lainey. The work became easier because Lainey no longer had to shop for groceries, but the price was her forced marriage to a balding old man. Saturday came, the day of the Smith family gathering. Mr. and Mrs. O'Connor attended, but their only daughter didn't. "My daughter's feeling unwell, Mr. Smith. She's been working non-stop on a business proposal for our company's project. The all-nighters wore her out," Sonia told Mr. Smith sadly when asked about her daughter. Sean thought it was an excuse. He assumed Heather was hungover. He stayed quiet and listened as the 3 adults spoke. He chimed in now and then, but the O'Connors barely regarded him, focusing on his grandfather. Days flew by to Sean and Heather's wedding day. It was a private ceremony. Only friends and acquaintances were invited. No media, just a photographer. Sean stood lifeless at the altar beside his grandfather, bored and itching to finish the ceremony. He didn't even react when the wedding march began, and the bride walked toward him. "Grandson, look at your wife-to-be. She's beautiful," Mr. Smith said with a soft awe. "You're right, Grandpa." "She's beautiful," Sean replied without enthusiasm, still not looking. He forced a smile at the O'Connors when they reached him. Then he was startled when the bride took Mr. Smith's hand instead, like a child greeting an elder, seeming dazed, probably hungover. "Come on, husband. Let's finish this so we can go home," the bride told Mr. Smith. Laughter rippled through the chapel. Sean was stunned. The O'Connors kept smiling, but Sean caught the anger in Sonia's eyes, and her discreet pinch at the bride's arm. "Oh dear, you're mistaken. I may look young for my age, but I'm not your groom. My grandson is," Mr. Smith chuckled, placing the bride's hand in Sean's. Sean reached for her. She turned to the altar and made the sign of the cross. The gesture tugged at his memory, but it seemed impossible that she was the woman he'd saved at the bar. Under the veil and makeup, he couldn't make out her features. Still, something was off. She didn't move like Heather. "Thank you, Lord." "You heard my prayer. Thank you so much," she said happily. "Lainey, behave." "You're embarrassing, Mr. Smith," Sonia scolded. Sean froze at the name Sonia had let slip. Heather was the O'Connors' only child, not Lainey. "I'm sorry. I'm just happy to meet my future husband, sir," the bride said respectfully to Mr. Smith, bowing a little, which delighted the old man. Confusion flooded Sean. According to the report on Heather, she had no respect for elders and spoke rudely. The woman before him was different. Did my investigator get it wrong about Heather? Sean wondered. The ceremony began, and Sean's questions multiplied when he heard his bride's vows. "When I found out about this wedding, I asked the Lord for just one thing, that my husband not be far from my age. If he granted it, I would love my husband deeply and stay by his side whenever he needed me. I would forget why this marriage began. And now here you are, Sean Smith. The Lord gave me you. Today I promise to stay with you in hardship and ease, in sorrow and joy, in victory and defeat. In the days to come, I promise to learn to love you as a good wife. You will be the foundation that helps build my character. I, Lainey O'Connor, promise to serve you faithfully until my last breath." Sean's hand went to his chest. He felt the sincerity in every word. He hadn't expected to like what he heard, yet he did. He could already sense the good life they might build together. The vows ended, and the priest invited the groom to kiss the bride. Sean lifted the veil and froze. "You!" It was the woman from the bar, the innocent stranger who had captured his attention and whom he'd wanted to see again before the wedding, only to assume he was marrying Heather. "Good thing you still remember me, mister. I didn't expect you'd be the one I'd marry," she said, with a shy smile. Sean couldn't believe it. He glanced at the guests, his grandfather smiling beside the O'Connors, who smiled too. A short distance away sat Heather, arms around a man he hadn't noticed earlier. She must have arrived late. "Grandson, don't be shy. I know it's your first time. Kiss your wife," Mr. Smith called, prompting teasing from the crowd. Sean's expression changed as he looked back at Lainey. Her innocent gaze waited for his next move. He couldn't celebrate yet. It was clear the O'Connors had deceived them, using a substitute bride to keep the families connected. If they had a plan against the Smiths, he wouldn't let it succeed. "Of course I remember you, miss. I'll never forget the day we met, and I'm sure you won't forget the day you became my wife," he said, then took a bold kiss. Lainey gasped and pushed at his chest, but he pressed closer until the priest cleared his throat. "Son, you're still in church. Save the rest for your honeymoon," the priest joked, drawing more laughter. Guilt washed over Sean when he saw tears in Lainey's eyes and her reddened lips. She was hurting, but he looked away. He wouldn't soften until he knew why the O'Connors had used a substitute bride. After the wedding, Lainey had hoped she'd finally have a partner in life, a family to belong to. Instead, reality stung. She had hoped for warmth from Sean because he had helped her at the bar. They lived in the same house, yet he treated her coldly. Separate bedrooms, rare conversations. She was grateful at least that her husband wasn't an old balding man but an Adonis. Still, his demeanor was ice. One morning, Lainey rose early to prepare breakfast, as she had done every day for the past month. "Sean, I made breakfast. Please eat before you go to the office," she said softly from his doorway. "I'll eat at the office, Lainey," he replied coolly, adjusting his tie. "Do you want me to pack it instead?" "No, I don't like cold food." Lainey swallowed her disappointment, forcing a smile. "I'll just clear the table," she whispered, closing his door. Outside, she leaned against it, pressed a hand to her chest, and looked up. "Lord, this hurts more than I expected. I thought my life would change, but it feels the same. I'm still alone. Please help me through it," she prayed silently. The door suddenly opened. Lainey lost her balance and fell, but strong arms caught her. Her face burned as Sean looked down at her. one arm around her waist, his straight nose almost touching her forehead. "Sean," she breathed, dazzled. "Planning to make me carry you all day?" "I'm late for work. Maybe stand up properly," he said dryly. Lainey snapped out of her daze and tried to stand, arched awkwardly. She braced on his broad shoulder. "Push me up a little, Sean," she asked. He didn't move. "Sean." He just studied her face, and her cheeks grew hotter. "What's the point of spending time with me? Lainey, you're just a substitute bride. Do you expect something in return for staying with me?" he asked, accusing. It wasn't the first time he'd thrown substitute bride at her or questioned why she stayed. "Sean, I'm your wife. It's normal for me to stay by your side." "I hate liars, Lainey, and I hate you for being one." His words hurt. She hadn't lied. True, she wasn't the original bride, but her name was on the marriage certificate. Their marriage was legal. In the eyes of people and the law, she was Sean's true wife. "We've talked about this." "I'm not lying to you," she murmured. Sean looked away and carelessly released her, leaving her off balance. Afraid of falling, she looped her arms around his neck, their faces tipped, lips brushing by accident. Her heart raced. She pulled back, worried he'd be angry. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean—" Her apology died when Sean cupped the back of her head and kissed her hard. She tried to push him away, but he caught both her wrists and pinned them above. Her back met the wall as his hands roamed roughly. "Sean, please, stop. It hurts," she whispered when he let her breathe. He turned away, grabbed his laptop bag from the floor. "You claimed me as your husband, but we never consummated our marriage. You failed your responsibilities as my wife, Lainey," he said coolly and left. She understood enough English to get the sting. Wiping her tears, she whispered toward his retreating back. "I can give you what you want, Sean, just not like this." That night she waited for him and cooked anyway. He came home at 10, smelling of alcohol but not drunk. "Have you eaten? I made dinner. Maybe you're hungry," she offered with a smile. "I ate out." "Okay, rest in your room. I'll put the food away. If you get hungry, it's in the fridge. Don't worry, I won't poison you," she joked gently. He passed without a glance. She stored the dishes, saving some for the staff in Sean's mansion, and a small portion for herself, which she ate alone. Later, she checked his room as she always did, to ensure he slept well enough to recover from his long days. "The AC is too cold again," she murmured, turning it down, tucking a blanket over him where he lay in just boxers, adding lavender essential oil to the purifier, dimming the light. She paused by his sleeping face and smiled faintly. "Good night, Sean," she whispered, and left. The next day was the same. Still, she kept caring for him. "Donna, did you heat the food I cooked last night?" "The containers aren't in the fridge," Lainey asked the housekeeper. "Sorry, ma'am. It's Ludring's child's birthday, so I sent the food home for them," the woman said, referring to the gardener. "That's fine. I'll cook extra today so they have more for tonight. Consider it my gift," Lainey smiled. "You're so kind, Mom." "Sir Sean is lucky to have you," the housekeeper said. "Lainey," Sean's voice came from the kitchen doorway. She turned, unable not to admire how good he looked in a grey t-shirt and black jeans. "What is it, Sean? Do you need anything?" "Pack your things. We're leaving later." "Where are we going?" she asked, curious. "To Grandpa's vacation house on Shawn Island. He wants the whole family at the beach this weekend." Shawn Island. What a nice name. Same as yours. I'll get our things ready after I finish cooking. "You don't have to cook. Leave instructions with Donna. There'll be food where we're going. We're leaving before lunch. Move fast." "Okay, I'll start with your things." "I'll pack my own, Lainey." "No problem," she said brightly. She couldn't hide her excitement as she packed, not for the beach, but to see Sean's family. They were warm to her even if Sean wasn't. She was close to his girl cousins, and his aunt and uncle adored her. They'd met at Mr. Smith's house and never forgot the wedding day she mistook Mr. Smith for the groom and apologized profusely. The old man had been delighted and never ran out of stories when she was around. With them, she felt like real family, more than with her own father and stepsister. Meanwhile, at the O'Connors' home, Sonia was rattled by what Simon had just learned. "That's not a funny joke, Simon. How could Sean Smith have the biggest share in Smith Corporation? He's an illegitimate child of Leonard and not the heir to old Mr. Smith. If anyone will inherit, it's one of Sean's cousins." "Calm down, Sonia." I was shocked too when Mr. Smith told me. He's proud of Sean, said that even if Sean is Leonard's son out of wedlock, the boy did a lot for their business. Sean's mother owned a real estate company in the UK. Before she died, she transferred her assets to Sean. He sold the company for billions and settled here. He bought properties and even bought the largest share in Smith Corporation. That's why Sean is carrying the family business now. So the bastard is a billionaire and we thought he had nothing. Why didn't we investigate him first? Sonia gasped, clutching her temples. Sean Smith is a big fish, Simon, and he ended up with Lainey, not my daughter. Do something. We need Sean to marry Heather. I won't let Lainey benefit from that man's wealth. That's hard. Sean's smart. We can't outwit him, Simon said. Coward. If you can't, I will. Heather is Sean's rightful bride, and I'll destroy Lainey for stealing my daughter's groom, Sonia decided coldly. Do what you want. Call Heather. We're going to Sean Island. We'll pretend we accepted Mr. Smith's invitation, Simon said. Sonia's lips curved with a calculating smile. She was already plotting how to win Sean back for Heather. Before noon, Sean and Lainey drove to the marina, where their ride to the island waited. Lainey couldn't help staring at the yacht named Sean. The yacht is as handsome as my husband's name, she blurted, then flushed when Sean cleared his throat. I'll carry your bags, Lainey. Follow me, he said, walking ahead. She smiled. Despite his coldness, he was still a gentleman. Lainey, a voice called behind. She turned to see her father's family, complete, each with suitcases. Sonia and Heather each pulled 2. Simon had 1. Good you heard me. You got married and forgot us already, Sonia jabbed. I'm sorry, Miss Sonia. I didn't hear you earlier. Why are you here? You're not the only one vacationing. We're coming too. Don't tell me you don't want us there. No, ma'am, Lainey said. Sonia smiled and stroked her hair. I'm glad you haven't forgotten who I am, Lainey. I'm still your Ms. Sonia, and your place in our family doesn't change just because you married. Bring our suitcases to the yacht. We're tired from pulling them from the car, Sonia ordered, leaving 4 big suitcases. Lainey looked to her father for help, but he walked past her, following the 2 women. She took a deep breath, wondering how to haul them aboard, when Sean's voice cut in. Lainey, what are you doing? Planning to stay behind. I don't know how to carry all these to the yacht, Sean, she said, gesturing to the 4 suitcases. His brow knit. He came over and took her hand. You're my wife, not someone's maid. Let's go. But Miss Sonia and Heather will scold me. I don't care. Come on, Sean said. Lainey's heart fluttered at his words, and the feel of his hand holding hers as they boarded, the 4 suitcases forgotten on the dock. They lunched on board and reached Sean Island by dusk. Sonia and Heather couldn't hide their awe, unaware their luggage had been left at the marina. Quietly, Lainey marveled too. The gleaming white sand catching the lowering sun, the cool breeze off the green shore, the hush broken only by waves. Mr. O'Connor, your wife seems close to that woman with her. Who is she? Sean asked Simon, feigning ignorance about Heather. Oh, her. She's Lainey's best friend. And Sonia is close to her too, Simon answered lamely. Both men glanced at Lainey, who could only smile. Sean thought, she's lying again, and chose not to add a new lie. They docked. Sean carried their bags in one hand, while holding Lainey's hand with the other. Unusual for him, but she let him. Lainey, where are our suitcases? Sonia asked. Lainey looked down, unable to say they were left behind. Did you bring all your belongings when you boarded? Sean asked Sonia, covering for Lainey. I told Lainey to bring them. Where are our suitcases, Lainey? Sonia snapped. You should carry your own things, Mrs. O'Connor. Don't bother my wife. If you want them, go back to the dock. I told her to leave them, Sean said. Sonia laughed, offended. Maybe you forgot I'm Heather's mother, Sean. Don't talk to me like that. If not for me, you wouldn't have a wife, Lainey. That's the only thing I'm grateful to you for, Mrs. O'Connor. Don't forget Lainey is my wife, not someone you can order around, Sean replied, leading Lainey away. Left on the yacht, Heather wailed. Mum, what about my stuff? I have nothing to wear. My swimsuits, nighties, gowns, even my skincare's in there. Everything's left behind. Lainey is so annoying, she cried. Don't worry. We'll buy from shops here. Even if they're cheap, we'll make do. Focus on the goal. Seduce Sean while we're here. Clear. I'll do it to get back at that witch Lainey. Substitute bride and a maid. Who does she think she is? Heather seethed. Do your best, honey. Win Sean before we go back to the city, Sonia urged. Don't worry, Mom. I'm an expert at seduction. Heather smirked. Simon couldn't hold his tongue. You don't have to do this. Lainey's life is finally good with the Smiths, and our company is stable. Leave her with Sean. What else do you want? We used her, married her off to Sean, and now you want to steal him back? People aren't toys. Please stop. Mum, Dad is taking that paid woman's child side, Heather tattled. Sonia ignored Simon's plea and swung on him. Have you forgotten the pain you caused me? I'm your legal wife, but you cheated and got a paid woman pregnant. Do you know how that felt? Every business trip I wondered who you were chasing. My family saved yours from debt. We propped up O'Connor Enterprises before Smith Corporation ever invested. You owe me everything. I won't stop targeting your bastard daughter. She's the proof of your betrayal, and she'll pay for your sins, Sonia said, tears brimming. That was long ago, Sonia. I've repented. Please forgive me. Lainey did nothing wrong. She's my daughter too. It was against my conscience to make her a maid. Now that she's finally okay, you want to ruin it again, Simon pleaded. She's innocent, yes. But who will I punish? You? There's no point. I can't punish her mother. She's dead, so Lainey will bear it, and you will regret betraying me forever. Let's go, Heather. We're wasting time with your treacherous father, Sonia said, leaving Simon in remorse. That night, Sean was alone in his room at the island house. Lainey wasn't with him. His cousins had borrowed her, saying the couple spent every night together anyway and they wanted time with her. Sean felt his family's love for Lainey and knew they'd be angry if they learned how cold he'd been. He also admired Lainey for never telling anyone what really happened between them at home. Everything will change after what I read this morning, he told himself, staring at his phone. His investigator's files showed Lainey's connection to the O'Connors. She grew up in public housing and lost her mother at 11 when the live-in boyfriend beat her to death. The man was arrested and jailed. Lainey searched for her father, Simon O'Connor. When she found him, Sonia took her in, to make her a maid. Simon followed whatever Sonia wanted because of his guilt. Even Lainey's marriage to Sean had been Sonia's plan, thinking Sean had nothing to inherit from the Smiths. Now it's clear. I'll do what's right. I won't let my wife be hurt again. I'll defend her even from her own family. From now on, you won't be alone, Lainey. No one will belittle or oppress you. If your father can't protect you, I will, he vowed. He glanced at the time. 11. He made sure the door was unlocked, cranked the AC colder, stripped to his boxers, lay down, and pretended to sleep. He knew Lainey would come check on him. He often teased her by leaving his well-built body half covered, but she was steadfast, never crossing a line. He liked her quiet, nightly care. A soft knock. The door creaked open. "I knew it. You're sleeping half naked again. You'll catch a chill, Sean," Lainey murmured. He cracked his eyes as she turned down the AC, lifted the blanket, and tucked him in. As she turned to go, he grabbed her hand. "Sean!" she yelped as she fell onto him. "Sorry for disturbing your sleep," she said, flustered, eyes averted, cheeks pink. "Lainey, look at me." "I want you to see my sincerity," he said. She glanced, then looked away. He drew her up, caging her in his arms and legs. "If you don't look at me, I'm making you fully my wife tonight. You won't be able to walk in the morning. You'll be stuck here all day," he teased. "What are you saying? This isn't like you." "Let me go." "What if you suddenly get mad at me again?" she fretted. He cupped her face, gently turning it toward him. Worry flickered in her eyes. "I'm sorry, Lainey. I thought you had something planned when you agreed to be Heather's substitute. Now I know the truth. I know your past, your struggles from childhood to your father's house. I regret wasting our first month. Forgive me for adding to your pain. From the moment I met you at the bar, I felt something different. I stopped myself because I was about to marry. I was happy you were my bride, but things still weren't clear. Everyone said Heather was the only daughter. I wanted to protect you and love you, but I feared you'd leave me. I tried to ignore you, but inside I wanted to hold you while you cooked, to sleep and wake beside you, to see you first every morning. I'm sorry for the coldness. It was self-protection while I searched for the truth. Still, I couldn't resist your cooking. In the mornings, the driver gave me the food you sent for him. At noon, I ordered meals for the staff that were really for me. At night, Donna smuggled your leftovers from the fridge to my room. After you went to bed, I ate them cold. I left the door unlocked so you could come in. I turned the AC down and slept without a shirt so you'd cover me. I love the way you take care of me. From today on, I'll take care of you," he said. Tears slid down Lainey's cheeks. He wiped them. "I'm happy to hear that, Sean. I can handle things, but it's different when someone stands behind me, ready to love me even if I'm just a substitute bride. I've never been loved or cared for by my family, so your words mean everything," she whispered. "There's nothing wrong with you being my substitute bride, Lainey. I'm glad you're my wife. I'll make you feel the joy you never had," he promised. He kissed her and rested her head on his chest, stroking her hair, brushing soft kisses on her crown. Peace settled over him. He had finally said what was in his heart. "Don't go back to my cousin's room, Lainey. Stay with me. We're married. They'll understand," he asked gently. Lainey bolted upright, scrambling off him. "Good, you reminded me. They're waiting. We were playing cards when I slipped out. They'll worry if I don't return," she said in a flurry. Sean caught her hand. "Lainey, we're married. They're just my cousins. Am I less important than they are? We finally made peace, and you'll leave me alone again. I've endured cold nights long enough. I want my beautiful wife beside me," he pleaded, drawing her back to sit on the bed's edge. "Just one night, Sean. I'll make it up to you when we're home. We're leaving tomorrow night anyway, and your cousins are busy with work. We haven't seen each other in a while. I'll sleep with them tonight. Go to bed," she coaxed. "Okay, good night," he said. She left. Sean couldn't settle. He put on gray pajamas and a white t-shirt and knocked on his cousin's door. "What are you doing here, Sean? It's late," Amy asked when she opened. "I need my wife." "Give her back," he said solemnly. Amy blinked, then burst out laughing. You're so dramatic. It's not like we stole Lainey. You'll see her tomorrow. Go back to bed, she said, trying to shut the door. He blocked it, strode inside, and found Lainey on one of 3 beds with his other cousins, Ivy and Anna Paul. He scooped Lainey up. "Sean, what are you doing?" Lainey yelped. "I'm not sleeping without my wife." "We're going back to our room, honey," he said, kissing her quickly. His cousins pounced, prying Lainey away and hauling Sean toward the door. "Amy, Ivy, Anna Paul, I'm warning you. Give me back my wife." "We're not scared, cousin. Even if you own this island, we make the rules tonight." "Lainey's with us," Ivy giggled. "Go marry each other so you'll stop stealing my wife," he muttered. "Not interested," Anna Paul deadpanned, shoving him out and slamming the door. He could only trudge back to his room, miffed. In the morning he stood guard outside their door. When Lainey emerged with the 3, he seized her hand and tucked her behind him. "My wife is with me today," he told them. "You're really extra, cousin." They laughed. He didn't let go of Lainey's hand even through breakfast. He had plans to roam the island with her and wouldn't let anything ruin it. "Lainey, dear, can you join me later at the fish pond?" Mr. Smith asked. "She's with me today, Grandpa," Sean cut in. "Is something wrong, grandson? Why are you so cheerful this morning?" Mr. Smith asked, amused. Sean shot a look at his snickering cousins. Mr. Smith eyed them. "Did you girls do something to your cousin?" "No, Grandpa. He's fine. He just didn't sleep with Lainey for one night. You'd think we stole their first night," Amy teased. "Then let Lainey humor an old man today, Sean." "You have her all to yourself at home," Mr. Smith said. Lainey's face lit up. Sean sighed and relented, deciding to third wheel with them. On the sidelines, Sonia seethed at how the Smiths doted on Lainey. She couldn't accept that Lainey, not Heather, was their darling. In her head, she screamed, "That should be my daughter." By late afternoon, Sonia and Heather set their plan in motion. They waited until Mr. Smith and Lainey were at the fish pond and Sean was alone by the shore. "Go, honey. I'll take the video. Hurry before Sean leaves," Sonia said. "Sure, Mom." "Get my best angles. Make sure you see both our faces and how he devours the treat in front of him," Heather quipped, strutting off in a new 2-piece bikini. Sonia crouched behind a tree, phone ready, but when she stepped out, both figures were gone. Where did they go? She scanned the beach and spotted Heather's back heading toward a bamboo cottage, hand in hand with a man whose face she couldn't see. Perfect, she thought, and crept after them. At the cottage, she pressed her ear to the door, hearing only muffled sounds. "Good, honey. We'll finally separate Sean and Lainey," Sonia murmured and stepped back, smiling triumphantly. She dialed Lainey. "Miss Sonia?" Lainey answered. "Come to Cottage 7 near the shore." "Bring one of the Smiths with you. Better if you bring Mr. Smith. I have something important to show you," Sonia said, and hung up. Soon she saw Lainey and Mr. Smith approaching. "Mrs. O'Connor, you had something to show us?" Mr. Smith asked. "Mr. Smith, I respect your family, but I can't let that woman deceive you." "She isn't Simon's daughter promised to Sean. She stole my daughter's place as the bride." "The real bride is inside that cottage with your grandson right now," Sonia declared. "What are you saying? How would Sean be in there?" Mr. Smith frowned. "I don't know, but I'm sure he's with Heather." "They truly love each other, and Lainey interfered," Sonia insisted. "That's unlikely, Mrs. O'Connor." "You might be mistaken," Mr. Smith said. "You want proof, fine." Sonia rapped on the door, then pounded harder until it opened. "Mom!" Heather gasped. Sonia smirked and turned to gloat at Lainey and Mr. Smith. Then her eyes widened. Sean stood with them outside. "Why are you here, Sean?" "You were with Heather," Sonia blurted. You're mistaken, Mrs. O'Connor. I never saw your daughter, much less went anywhere with her, Sean said evenly. Sonia paled. She shoved past Heather into the cottage and found another man inside with her. Who is that, Heather? Who? Sonia raged. Gavin, my ex. I broke up with him 2 years ago. He's the only man I've ever loved. I left him because of the arrangement between our families. I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't expect to see him again after I lost sight of Sean earlier. Please understand, Mom, I love Gavin, and I think I'm finally free to do that. Sean is married to Lainey, and I have no intention of continuing our plan now that Gavin is here. I'm sorry, Heather said. Mrs. O'Connor, whatever you planned for your daughter, don't. I already know because Amy and Sean told me. Gavin is a good man, the caretaker's son here on the island. If he and your daughter like each other, let them. Everyone has the right to be happy, Mr. Smith said kindly. The caretaker's son. My God, Heather, another pauper, just like your father relying on my money. What were you thinking? Sonia cried. Mom, I love Gavin even if he isn't rich. I'm sorry, Heather said. Humiliated and disappointed, Sonia stalked away. By nightfall, the O'Connors left the island, but Heather chose to stay with Gavin. Sonia and Simon apologized to the Smiths, especially to Sean. You don't need to apologize to me, Mr. and Mrs. O'Connor. I'm grateful you made Lainey the substitute bride. I'm happy now because of my wife. If you owe anyone an apology, it's her. For so many years she suffered under your roof and paid for a sin she didn't commit, Sean told them. I feel no remorse for making her a maid, Sean. Maybe you understand the anger I feel toward her mother. For years, Simon hid what he did. I didn't believe he could do that to me until a DNA test proved Lainey was his. I know Lainey has no fault. She's just the product of his betrayal. But pain isn't easy to forget, especially seeing her every day. It still hurts, Sonia said stiffly. I'm not forcing you, Mrs. O'Connor. Do what you want, but stay away from my wife. She won't lose anything. She has a new family now, and we'll give her the love you never did. The connection between our families will remain only for business, Sean replied. Sonia said nothing, bitterness still in her eyes. Whether she forgave or carried the weight forever was up to her. Near dawn, Sean and Lainey reached home. Lainey was nervous. They would finally share the same room. She wrapped herself in the blanket when Sean's arm slid around her from behind. Lainey, we're just sleeping. I won't do anything you don't want. You're tired from the trip, he murmured. She exhaled and lowered the blanket to her chest. You're my husband, Sean. I'm ready to give myself to you. I'm just nervous, she said. Face me, Lainey, he whispered. She turned, and his hand traced her cheek before he kissed her softly. Good night, honey. I love you. She smiled. Good night, my Adonis husband. I love you too, she breathed, kissing him back. It was the signal he needed. His kiss deepened. Her nerves melted into joy and eager warmth. She yielded. In those hours they became one, not just on paper, but in body and soul, their hearts bound by love, ready to build a family of their own. Days passed swiftly. Simon cut off contact with Lainey to keep peace with Sonia. It was still hard for Sonia to accept her, and Lainey couldn't change that. She was the product of wrongdoing, but she bore no guilt. For everyone's peace, she let them go. She felt no envy when Heather was introduced as Assistant CEO of O'Connor Enterprises. Sometimes it's better to release something than to force what only hurts. Lainey no longer hoped her old family would accept her. She was happy with the life she had now. Within a year of marriage, their hopes were fulfilled. Lainey got pregnant and gave birth to their first child, a baby boy. Nothing surpassed her joy when Sean came into her life, and now their world shone even brighter. She hadn't been loved by her own family, but another family had taken her in with open hearts and no conditions. The end. Thank you all for watching. This is Mr. Hope, and I love you all.